Hello, if you're watching this video, you likely have a need to use JobTread on your phone in the field. That's the purpose of this video, is to kind of walk you through the basics of that. One note I wanted to make off the bat is kind of what we see on the desktop computer is the same as what we see on the phone. It's just displayed a little bit differently. So I'll start by kind of saying the first step is to get JobTread on your phone. We do have a separate article that kind of walks through that process, but whether you're on an iPhone or an Android, the steps are going to be a little different. It's certainly an easy process, just have to make sure to look at those instructions. But when you have JobTread on your phone, you're going to have it on your app list like any other app. You click on it to open it, and that will bring you into the portal. From here, you have a number of options. You can search up top for any customers or location information. You have the time clock. So if your company is using time tracking and asking you to clock in and clock out, certainly you'll need to use this feature. So opt in to allowing your location to be shared. But then from here, you can choose just to clock in and not select a job. This is something you probably need to talk to your employer about. You may be required, to identify the job that you're working on. And let's say we do want to do that. So I'm going to say switch, and I'm going to clock into a job. The nice thing about this list right here, it's actually showing me the closest job to my current location. This is why you need to opt in. So you can say, yep, that's the one I'm going to be working on. And I can go one step further, and I'm going to say specifically what I'm doing on that job. So deck installation is what I'm working on today. Let's say you forgot to identify when you first clocked in. Maybe you got to the job site, you got distracted, and you wanted to tell them, hey, I actually was here at 10 a.m. It's 3:52 right now. You can say, hey, forgot to clock in earlier, and that note will be included with your time entry. So click confirm, and you can see in the top right, it is starting to track my time. So very important. You can check your time at any point just to see how much you've worked that day. Obviously, at the end of the day, you're going to clock out. Just wanted to mention, though, that you do have this switch option here, which you can utilize to change what you're doing. So if you want to say, hey, I kind of moved on to the fence here, confirm that. That's a really nice thing to do, especially for your supervisor, just because it tells them, what you're working on. It gives them a better idea of how long things are taking. And on the job costing side of things, it's going to provide them a bit more info. But end of the day, we're going to clock out, and you're done for the day. Just know you always have a record of all your time entries by clicking on time along the bottom. That will give you an indication of all your past time entries as well. Another very important button in the top right of the screen is this clipboard. This is so you can leave a daily log. So what happened today at the job site? You can select a job. It's going to pull the weather data for you. Just know you can backdate this if you need to for any reason. Notes, so this is what happened at the job site. So, went to the job site today. The plumber and electrician were asleep. So whatever might have happened at the job site today, you're going to leave those in the notes here. This is a job history. You might have a couple additional questions. This depends on the employer you're working with. They have the ability to enter in custom fields here, so definitely fill everything out that's relevant to you. And then you have the option to leave pictures or videos. So you can say upload files and photos. You can either pull from your photo library, or you can take a photo or video on the fly. Very cool tool. I'm a big fan of the video option, just because you can walk the job site and you don't have to take a bunch of different photos. Daily log access. If you ever wanted to send this to someone, like send a copy to your employer, then you could click on this. You could identify them from the list, and then you can choose to send them an email as well. Definitely not required, but when you click save at the bottom, you're done. You've left your daily log for the day, and definitely a good habit to get into. Every day you leave the job site, leave the notes, take the progress pictures, and make sure to save. So aside from that, just know you have access to customer information in here as well. If you click on the job list, this will show all the jobs that you have access to. You can search this list at any time to find a specific job. I'll search for the customer's information here, click on the job here, and then I have the dashboard for that particular project. Again, the level of detail, everything you see here is dependent on your permissions, so it may look a little bit different on your side, but more than likely you have access to the location, so you can very quickly get to the job site. The last thing I want to mention while looking at a job, if I scroll down just a bit, you have the ability to post a message. So you can leave a message, an internal message maybe saying, looking for the keys, can't find them. You can post that, and that will message people internal of the system, kind of notifying people of whatever is happening right now. So you can definitely use that messaging tool. I think more often than not, you're going to be leaving a daily log instead, but just know you have that capability as well. Those are the most common things you're going to be doing on the job site. The last thing I want to mention is the ability here to access files for the job. So if you click on a job here, you switch over from the dashboard over to the files. This is where you'll find things like the plans for the job, other photos other people have uploaded, but really anything that's going to be relevant and helpful to the job in the form of plans is going to be stored here under the Files tab. So that's JobTread on your phone. If you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out to your employer or reach us at support@jobtread.com. Thank you so much.